This is Max Shears for Pro Boxing Fans. I'd like to be joined as always by promoter Kalle Sauerland. I mean, I spoke to you, which is a real wilder, and I spoke about the madness of that event, and it looks like you've done it again. We're going to break down the card, but I mean, just crazy, isn't it?
Very
This
different.
one is
very
very
different. That was MF Pro,
Yeah.
and this is Misfits. And I keep reminding myself in interviews that there is, there's MF Sports. MF Sports has two businesses. One is Misfits, the mad world of Misfits, and one is MF Pro, which is a traditional boxing stable. And we will be launching other sports later this year. So we had a banger with our first big MF Pro event, and I think this Misfits event has got a bit of everything. And I'm talking a bit out of my lane here because I don't know that much about the people on the card. I always feel in Misfits, which is probably quite healthy because given I'm 49 years old, I have to sort of educate myself through Fight Week, like who are these people, and I know they've got loads of social numbers because that's basically how we put the card together. But this week has had a bit of everything, the madness of it. Some very ugly, that we will learn from. Although, have I seen cheap shots at traditional shows? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I hadn't seen that. So it is what it is. But our security still did a very good job, I think. But let's talk about the main event first, yeah, because that's what it is, the main event. I mean, in a world of madness in 2026, wherever you look, social media, the world, we've got the strongest man in the world taking on a Fury, right? That might drop, I'm off, right? Make of it what you will, right? Because I don't need to say more than that.
Yeah.
So if you fancy a bit of that, well, you don't, yeah? Now, our numbers this week would suggest that a lot of people are very interested to see how this goes out. And, I spoke to BJ Flores, who's obviously an ex-pro and very high level and trainer. And he said to me, if I was Fury, yeah, I'd slowly start to be thinking about how do I actually get to him, right? 6'2", right? Everyone's agreed to that. Everyone's signed up to that. If I look back at the negotiation, Eddie proposed that and the Furies accepted. No questions asked. Now that was like, I would have gone in, right? No, mate. It's 3 minutes, right? It's boxing, we're doing 3 minutes and we can make it 4 rounds, right? I think that Eddie is trained for sprints, right? And he's thinking in totally different language in his head because he comes from a completely different space, although he has done MMA and he's done some boxing before. Clearly has basic boxing skills, but he's going to rely on the elephant in the room, right? Mate, the fella is enormous. He isn't big, he's not large, he's not giant, he's enormous, right? And he's an athlete. It's not like he's some big blob. This guy is a prime athlete who is trained 100% exactly for 6 2-minute rounds. And he will know to a T where he's at with his stamina in that time. We had Lucas Rohrig and our cruiserweight and George Groves going to him. They both said, he is what he is. He's obviously a novice boxer, but he's an unbelievable athlete. Yeah? And I just don't know. I mean, Tommy's got all the silky skills. He's done it at the Misfits. He's cleared up the scene. He's beaten Jake Paul. He's beaten KSI, although it was a very, very close fight. It doesn't matter on paper. He's beaten them both. So he's sort of king of the castle, if you like, in the Misfits world, crossover boxing world. I don't know. There's other fights he could have taken. Yeah? He could have taken, I don't know, Chase them all. Yeah, big fight, big name at the moment, very, very relevant name. But they wanted something like this, which, and this is where probably John comes in a bit. John's savvy at knowing what does numbers. I'm not saying John knows all his what he does that people then go viral for it and all that. I think a lot of it is very genuine, but at the same time he knows how to sell, and he knows that this fight for Tommy does wonders if he comes through it in this scene. Absolute wonders. Let's face it, he's beaten the beast. But on the flip side of it, he loses. People say, it's a bit of a gimmick fight and you're lost, right? So it's a bit of a tricky one, yeah? And now, as I said, 24 hours tomorrow night, live on DAZN, we shall find out. But it really is now a game where we can enjoy this and play out, how's it really going to go down? Is Tommy just going to box him off with a jab and it's going to be rather boring? Could be. Highly unlikely, given that, you try to keep him off with a sort of, flicky sort of jab. It's not going to keep anything. So you're going to have to hit him with more than a jab to keep him off. So you're going to have to take risks, aren't you? You're going to have to throw the right, because you're not going to keep him off just sticking that jab out. Not a chance. Not a chance. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be like a mosquito going off a bonnet at 70 miles an hour. It just is not. It's just not going to work, is it? So you're going to have to load up, and you load up like in any sport. You take the risk of attack, and you can get undone. And if Eddie lands, hey ho, here we go.
Definitely. I know we're pressed for time, so just before I let you go, I mean, you've done a 7-minute perfect sale for the main event for people that maybe weren't going to watch. I'm sure they will tune in now. 7 minutes, yeah. I just have to ask.
Listen, as I said, don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But I like watching Misfits. I like seeing it as an entertainment thing, and I'm not just saying that because it's my brand or shareholder in the brand, but I don't consume it like I consume boxing. Yeah? It's different. I know it's ultimately in a ring and they're performing boxing at very different levels. But this one is a little bit gets more my traditional soul out because it is interesting. We know Tommy's a decent level boxer. I'm not saying he's world champion material. He's a young man still, by the way. Yeah? Still learning. And we know he comes from a fighting family. We've been around the sport his whole life. And he's fighting a guy who literally, it's not like, we're calling him the Beast. Yeah? I remember Nikolai Valuev. I called him the Beast. He went mental. We used to call him Beast from the East. He hated it. His name is the Beast. Yeah. Like, that's what he marketed. Yeah. Like, there's no insult. There's no marketing. That's what he's called. Yeah. And why is he called that? Because he is one hell of a massive mountain of a man and an athlete. And that's something that I find, having followed boxing my whole life, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. How far does the silky skills of boxing take us when it comes to facing a mountain? Mount Everest. Not mountain, Mount Everest.
Definitely. Just before you go, I have to ask 2 fights, just kind of the update on them. The Big Stacks fight, is that officially off? And also the Jordan McCann, Ibiza final boss, obviously Jordan McCann wasn't here. Will that fight be going ahead?
Yeah, that fight's 100% going ahead. That's just mind games. It's been going on all week. We turned up yesterday late and we'll deal with that after the fight. But the other fight is they're still discussing whether they do a body-only fight, like a body sparring set, and if they agree to that and the board agrees to it and everyone's fine with it, then I guess it will go ahead, and they're still discussing that. I mean, I saw the Stacks running up and down this cage a minute ago, absolutely battering it. So he's certainly fit and ready, but he's, feels it with a lip. I know, I haven't seen the lip. Leave that to the professionals, the doctors and stuff. They've signed him off, but he feels he can't take the fight with the lip, which I totally understand. It's his decision. No one makes anyone else's decision to make to perform in a fight other than that person himself. So we'll see.
Just last one. Everyone under the same banner of DAZN. I'm sure you saw Ben Shalom join. I mean, reaction to that, and also feels like it's almost DAZN against Zuffa right now. Just the promotional world. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre the way that's come about. I don't know. I mean, I saw the Shalom announcement. I think it's, you know, DAZN's just locking up everything, aren't they? And you know, it's the global home of boxing. You know, Misfits is on there, MF Pro. So we got sort of 2 separate deals on there. You know, it's great, and we're doing our first US show next week with DAZN with MF Pro. We're very excited for that. Jojo Diaz H2O next weekend. It's a great little show, and I'm very, very excited about that. You know, our first US show. So, yeah, word on the street. I don't know much about his deal, but not really my business. What word on the street is he's got a show with DAZN, and he's got to then sort of deliver other tangibles to get other shows. And so good luck to him. I don't know where he's at with his BBC deal and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, you know, it's one of those where I haven't had the best experiences with him in the past. I think I've been quite vocal about that. Maybe, yeah, getting some stuff off my chest, I think, maybe. That's what I do. But if we got to make a big fight with him, done in a drop of a hat. And by the way, we've done some big shows with him, you know, we've done some big shows. In fact, we delivered for him 2 of his 3 pay-per-views on Sky, you know. So, you know,